Paddy Spivot. Yeah. Paddy Spivot arguably is one of the best love interests in CW Flash, and frankly, the fact that we only got her for like half a season was genuinely criminal. The fact that we saw her, I believe she ended up leaving like on episode 11, felt insanely criminal. Now I get it, she had to leave the show for other means. I don't really know what their intentions were with the character fully, but Paddy Spivot as a love interest for Barry Allen was peak. It was amazing. And I think we can all agree that we all miss CW Flash's Paddy Spivot, not just because maybe a lot of us are like, hey, I'm not a big fan of Iris West, at least that version of her, but mainly because we just didn't have a ton of time with her. We didn't have a ton of time with the character itself. I mean, we had literally going into the season with Patty, we had a full season of Caitlin Snow. We had, to an extent, like half or a full season with Linda Park. And the fact that we only got half a season with Paddy Spivot was something that felt like it was a little bit empty and a little bit lacking, especially with the character that she was. Now, why was she so amazing, and why did we all miss her so much? Well, for starters, she wasn't just a love interest. She was more than just that. She was her own character. Unlike many side characters in, your typical superhero shows, most of the time they orbit around the main character, but Patty wasn't necessarily that. Now, was she very fond of Barry? Was she like super interested in forensics and also super interested in the task force for metahumans? Of course. But she was her own woman, her own person, and she was introduced as this smart, ambitious, emotionally complex, and this character that wanted to push herself and her career further and further and further. And that was something that I found to be so amazing about the character, because I felt the same way about someone like Caitlin Snow. I think Linda Park gave that same kind of idea, and I thought Iris West early on was kind of in the same boat too. She was pushing her career, trying to be this, kind of writer slash kind of person that would talk about the Flash and stuff like that. And we got glimpses of that later on in the show, but I felt like that could have been focused on way more. Something that happened with Patty, where we got a lot of things involving her actual motivations, how she wanted to join the CCPD's meta task force, not because she was like, oh yeah, I just want to do it because I want to be around Barry or this and that. No, it wasn't actually that. It was because of her father's murder, that trauma that she had. We were able to see it outright. We were able to see every aspect of it, and she didn't wallow in it. She didn't just let it take over. She wanted to take that step forward, and she wanted to face the bizarre dangers of Central City with her courage, with her kind of wit, and with her intelligence, and a good little healthy dose of sarcasm. She was a very interesting and also very relatable character. I think we all can agree when I say that nerdy and like very, very like smart characters are very intriguing. I would 100% agree with that. Someone with very, very smart, very witty, very nerdy aspects about themselves, I always find to be very interesting, very attractive, and especially in a character like her, it was very amazing. And that's not the only reason why I'm sure we all miss her. I mean, her chemistry with Barry was what seemed to be surprisingly natural. I mean, from the very first scenes, it seemed that Patty and Barry had something that was genuine, right? They were playful, they were flirting, they had this shared awkwardness. They were borderline the same character. And I say the same thing with Caitlin Snow because of where Barry is in terms of intelligence and how he interacts and stuff like that. But Patty was like a next step further. They worked in the same idea, the same CCPD. Yes, they weren't both forensics, but they both wanted to work with metahumans. I mean, they were both had that signature nerdy energy that made that relationship kind of like this kind of fun, slowed down rom-com type of style inside of a superhero series. And it was honestly this kind of lighter side of Barry Allen that I really liked watching. The nerdy side of Barry Allen, because that always is one of my favorite versions of him, is the nerdy, the kind of witty, the the kind of like, super smart version of Barry Allen is always fun to watch. And that's something that Patty was able to bring out. And their moments together were so amazing. And unlike Iris West and some other people that he deals with, it just wasn't, or their relationship is a lot more dynamic. And it felt like it was kind of like destiny to have Patty's connection to Barry be a little bit more rooted than it was in the show. I mean, 11 episodes of it was kind of lame, and I get it, right? She had to leave series. It wasn't actually like part of the script, I guess, to an extent. But the fact that she had to leave kind of sucked. And I would have loved, even if she wasn't Endgame, I would have loved to have more romantic moments and all of these things. And honestly, it kind of hurt watching her walk away. And I did a video on this before where I literally have talked about, like, it genuinely broke my heart to see Paddy Spivot leave. I mean, it was just horrendous just watching that transpire. Like, you're sitting there at, like, kind of like the Interstellar meme, I believe that's where it's from, where he's looking through like the bookcase or something like that, and he's basically screaming like, no, like, please don't let her go, no, don't do it. And that's literally me watching CW Flash, watching Paddy Spivot literally hop on the train, call Barry and be like, oh yeah, I need help, someone has a gun, blah blah blah. And he shows up in the Flash suit, and she knows it's him. She knows it's Barry. And Barry still believes, like, oh, I'm doing the right thing by letting her go. And I'm doing the right thing by, making sure that she's away from this life so she stays safe and blah, blah, blah. It's like, why is Iris there then still, bro? Like, you know that you still have some feelings for Iris West. You know that you still have some connection to her. And this idea of, oh, if you really love her, you should really let her go because you want to keep her safe is such a BS freaking thing, such a BS idea. And frankly enough, I honestly feel like they could have gone in a different direction and still pushed her off the show a little bit better than what it was. I think having Barry even admit to her that he is the Flash, but wanting her to kind of push her own journey forward, still go somewhere else, and be the kind of cop and be the law enforcement officer that she can still truly be that investigator, be that forensics, whatever she wants to be. Honestly, he could have still pushed her in that direction and been like, you know what, maybe we were the right people, it was just the wrong time. And maybe one day we'll meet back up again. And shoot, we could have even kind of pushed off the Iris West stuff until a little bit later, and then had Barry and Patty come back together at one point, but then still have Iris West be Endgame. Now, I just feel like that would have been a lot better, but obviously things happen and the show couldn't, progress with Paddy Spivot as the main love interest. But she was so amazing, right? Yes, she might have been left in the dark, but she knew it. She knew what was happening. And she stood there. She wanted Barry to accept her in that way, wanted Barry to trust her in that way, and wanted to be there with him, be there for him, stand beside him, and fight crime together. I always thought, I was like, this is crazy. The moment that she basically says, like, basically fight crime and then fight crime during the day and then be with you at night type of thing. I always thought, I was like, whoa, that's pretty freaking amazing to think about. I mean, that is what she wanted. She wanted to be that dynamic duo and could have been that dynamic duo. I mean, her instincts were so sharp. She knew Barry was hiding something. And it just shows that, like, she really was levels above what she could possibly do. And if she was given that opportunity, if she was given the opportunity to be a part of the partnership, be a part of the team, a Team Flash, that she could have done some good things. She legitimately could have done some great things. But, of course, Barry gets convinced otherwise. Barry gets convinced to let her go. And with her demanding the truth and her being pushed and pulled in different directions and deciding to leave Central City, she obviously would end up leaving. And her exit, like I've said, was absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, Patty was a beautiful choice in terms of a love interest. I think they did her amazing in terms of what she brought to the table, how she was a cop herself, super interested in forensics, super interested in the Metaforce, all of these things. It wasn't some weird, drawn out death drama or kind of like this weird, like, irritating drama that that we have a lot with CW Flash. Yes, was it frustrating the way she went out? Of course. But it wasn't like she went out hating Barry. She still loved Barry, like, with everything, right? She was trying everything in her power to basically, like, get Barry to open up, get Barry to understand that she's here for him and this and that. Honestly, we were on the side of Patty the entire time. Like, the entire time. I'm sure a lot of us were looking at the screen yelling at Barry, don't do this. Like, don't do this. You're messing up. Do not do this. And frankly, even with the show over, even with the CW Flash universe over, I mean, we all will still miss her and remember her in fond memories, because that's what she was. For 11 episodes, she was the absolute peak of a love interest. For 11 episodes, we were able to watch a woman with fully fleshed out humor, this trauma that she utilized to push herself forward, this independence, this intelligence. The romance felt so fun. It was spontaneous. It was so it was so comedic, and it didn't feel like it was a burden on what they were trying to create. It didn't feel like it was a burden on their timelines, because guess what? Patty Spivot was her own person, her own character. She had her own life. She had her own ambitions. And I'm going to be honest, when I saw her leave, wow, it really broke my heart, because Patty Spivot, didn't have a superpower, but she was damn memorable. She was absolutely memorable. She had a heart of gold. She had a humor for days, and Barry and her just fit perfectly, like absolutely perfectly, like two gloves. And it was just an amazing thing. And honestly, it just sucked watching her walk away. Someone that we loved watching, someone that we really adored, and someone that we thought, wow, I can't believe she's gone, and we're going to miss her. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little attached, especially when I first watched it. I was a little attached to Paddy Spivot, and I was one of those people that I had a big crush on Linda Park, but Paddy Spivot really made me question. I'm like, dang, like maybe Patty better. I don't know. I mean, honestly, a lot of people will probably agree that Patty is better, but Linda Park will always have a special place in my heart as a character, especially in CW Flash. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say about Patty, about the other love interests in CW's Flash, all of the above, all that stuff. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, YouTube believes you'll enjoy this one, so might as well go check it out.